Hello and very warm welcome to ET Global Town Hall. For this special fireside chat discussion, I'm joined by Dr. Sharma, CEO of the National Health Authority and the chairperson of the Empowered Committee for CoWin. In a career spanning over 35 years, Dr. Sharma has spearheaded key government organizations and various projects, including Secretary IT, CEO of UIDAI, and Chairman of TRI. Currently, Dr. Sharma is focusing on to create an integrated digital platform like UPI and Aadhaar for healthcare sector under the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambitious Ayushman Bharat digital mission. Dr. Sharma, first of all, thank you for joining us today. And let me begin by asking you, after leading Aadhaar, you seems to have delivered vaccination with our 1 crore people getting the jabs in a single day, and every entry is being digitally recorded and processed. Can you tell us how did you manage it? What is the IT architecture behind entire this platform?
Well, thank you very much for having me on this platform. It's a privilege and pleasure for me today morning. As you know, this question of yours regarding the COVID platform, I think it's a very relevant question. When our Prime Minister started on 16th of January, the vaccination program in this country, which is the largest vaccination program anywhere in the world, he directed us to create this platform. And also, he also told us that create this platform as something which is very, unique and innovative. And this platform should really become a very scalable platform because we are 1.3 billion people, which is one-sixth of the whole world's population. So that was the basic idea, was to create this platform as an inclusive platform, as a platform which can scale up to 1.3 billion people, and as a platform which can take the load of tens of millions of jabs in a single day. So I think these were some of the attributes which are not an afterthought, which were actually built in the design itself. So we built CoWin as a scalable, speedy, interoperable, based on APIs. As you know, we have published APIs in the beginning itself. And now a lot of the companies, a lot of the outside partners, a lot of the applications have actually integrated themselves with us through APIs. We have more than 100 partners today which are actually connecting with CoWin using their own app. So people are able to provide vaccination appointments, vaccination vacancy discovery processes on their own applications using CoWin's overall data structure and data.
Right. Based on the learning, on many occasions, you have also spoken about taking the CoWin platform to global. And I think almost around 17 countries have shown some level of, interest in adopting the platform. Can you tell us what is the latest update on that part? What kind of countries are adopting it and what benefit it is going to give them?
See, one of the things is that having developed such a scalable and such a beautiful platform as per the directions of our Prime Minister, he also wanted that we should actually take this platform to the world. And in that direction, he himself launched a webinar, a global webinar, which we called CoWin Global Conclave on 5th of July, wherein more than 100 countries participated. In fact, many ministers from those countries also participated. And many of them expressed the desire to actually take CoWin. And our Prime Minister also directed us that you make CoWin as an open source platform so that people don't have to spend money in reinventing the wheel. Once it is open source platform, then it is customizable and configurable. So what we have done thus far, we have open sourced the platform, put it on the Open Forge, platform so that people can access it. We have also trained a number of people, a number of entities which can actually help other countries in deploying the platform on their systems. We have also created a full documentation of this platform. So I think this platform is ready to go global. Now, what has happened is that there are a number of countries who have approached us who are working with the Ministry of External Affairs to essentially sign an MOU with us. And I will not be able to exactly tell you the number of countries which have approached the Ministry of External Affairs. Probably that question you can ask from the MEA. But we are aware that some countries have become mature enough. Their discussions with them have become mature enough that we are on the verge of signing the memorandum of understanding with them. Thereafter, they will be able to access the source code and will be able to replicate the software in their countries.
Absolutely. Now I'll come to one very important project that you are working on. And last week, Prime Minister inaugurated Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which will offer everyone a digital health ID containing their medical records. The purpose of this particular activity is to develop a unified online platform through the provision of wide range of data, information, and infrastructure services, leveraging open source, as you said, an interoperable standard-based digital system. Would you like to share what is the latest progress on that, and what kind of tangible benefit we are going to get, given the fact that we do have a similar kind of identity platform in the form of Aadhaar? So my question will be two: what is the latest update? Second, are we not actually repeating the same thing that we have done with Aadhaar? Can we have added maybe one element of other thing within Aadhaar and make it, quite open for everybody?
Well, thank you very much. I think that's also a very relevant question. And the Honorable Prime Minister had launched this on 27th of September, the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission. And the overarching objective of this mission is to leverage technology to deliver health services in an affordable, accessible, and a quality manner. So that is the overall vision of the national, digital mission, so to say. Now, what is happening is that in that we have developed, the Prime Minister launched it on 15th of August last year, 2020, in the 6 union territories as a pilot. So basically, in this 1 year or so, we have perfected the some of the artifacts in the digital mission. So, for example, health identity, then of course the professionals registry, the hospitals registry, the drug registry. Many of the artifacts which are required for this platform to work have already been developed. Now we are launching this platform. The platform has been launched nationwide. So all the doctors, hospitals, drugs, laboratories from the entire country will be registering on this platform, and that process has already begun. We have kept it as an open platform so that other applications can also just plug into this platform. And we have learned a lot. We have applied a lot of learnings from Aadhaar. So that's one part. You made a statement that the health ID will basically collect all the health records. That is not the case. Health ID is basically a reference number, a reference ID, which is a 14-digit random number, which essentially will enable a person to link all his or her health record. But linking does not mean collecting. Linking only means that creating a reference so that one is able to visualize and see all the health records which are linked to his or her identity, health identity. So that's the idea. So the records will remain wherever they are currently. Suppose you got a test done in a laboratory, the records will remain in that laboratory only. Records will not be coming out. They will not be traveling. Similarly, they will remain in a hospital. Suppose you visited Apollo Hospital, they will remain there only. Only health ID will basically be able to link them and reference them and make it available to them, to the beneficiary, wherever he or she goes. So, for example, if I go to a doctor, I will be able to share with my own consent and my own direction the identity with everybody else. So that is with the doctor. So that is the way it has been structured. Now the question is again the last question which you asked is why can't we use Aadhaar itself? In a way,
Right.
we can't use Aadhaar because the fact is that while your KYC, which is basically who you are, that part we will be using Aadhaar, driving license, passport, and many other documents to enroll you into and giving you a health identity. Now we want to keep it separate because this is a purpose-specific identity. This cannot.
Right.
Aadhaar is a foundational identity. The Aadhaar is basically an identity which can be clubbed and plugged into any purpose. This is a purpose-specific ID. So while the base can be Aadhaar or driving license or the passport, but this ID will work because you can decide to opt out of it. You may become a part of Aadhaar. You may continue to remain a part of Aadhaar if you've got an Aadhaar number. But you may decide not to participate in the digital health space, and therefore you delete your digital ID. Now, if this digital ID is different from Aadhaar, then you can delete it. Now, if it is Aadhaar itself, you can't delete it. So therefore, that is the reason why we have kept it away from Aadhaar. This is away and independent from Aadhaar. It can be based on Aadhaar, or it can be based on some other document. That's the
absolutely. Absolutely. That brings to a very important question because all of these, whether it is Aadhaar or digital health ID or any data that we are actually creating in terms of referenceability, these are primarily a data lake we are actually creating. So when it comes to the healthcare, the compliance of the data and data security aspect becomes very critical. What are your views on digitally protecting healthcare data while leveraging modern application and technology to improve patient and doctor experience? Because while using technology, even doctor and patient, they are looking for some level of customer experience. And at the same time, we have to also ensure whatever data we are collecting and whatever reference point we are actually creating, it has to be secure. It has to be meet the compliance, meet all the existing guideline.
No, you are right. The data security, privacy, etc., are extremely important in this digital world. But to be very clear, we are not collecting any data. We are collecting one for the purpose of providing a citizen's identity, digital health ID. We are essentially, sort of getting his identity verified using the existing, data, whether it is driving license or whether it is passport or whether it is Aadhaar. So that's number one. And after that, we are creating registries, which is basically the professionals registry, the health facility registry, and the drug registry, and the laboratory registry. Now, these are basically reference databases, which we have to protect. The rest of it actually are not residing with us. We are not collecting the data. They are residing with laboratories and with the hospitals, etc. And they are also under the responsibility of protecting their users or their customers' data. So they will be governed by the normal data protection and privacy aspects, which laws, systems which come in this country. So I think the expectation that the National Health Authority is somehow collecting the data and should be responsible for its security, I just want to disabuse that particular perception. We are not collecting data, and certainly whatever data we are collecting, we shall be responsible for ensuring the safety and security of that data. The rest of the data lies with the different ecosystem partners, and they will obviously be responsible for security and safety of that data as they are today.
Among all the digital driven project, the connectivity becomes very important, and that is fundamental to the success of any digital project. While you were with the government of Jharkhand, Ministry of IT here in center, and also at the TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India as a chairman, you initiated many programs aimed at increasing the last mile connectivity across the country, which is key to success, I said, for any government project, any project, in fact. How satisfied are you today on that front? Do you see that some level of improvement has to happen? Are we on right track, or do we need to shift the gear?
Well, I think that's also an extremely important question, because I agree with you that any digital project has to ride on the connectivity. If there's no connectivity, there's no digital in some sense in today's world. Right. So you are very right. Fortunately, in our country, we have in the last 6-7 years, we have seen an immense progress in the connectivity. So today you have 1.18 billion mobile connections. You have 700 million internet connections in our country. You have 600 million smartphones in our country, and they are rising. They are actually increasing at the rate of 25 million per quarter. So I think we have a very strong connectivity base. You are right that the entire connectivity is based on the mobile telephony only. Now, that's deficiency part of it, I must say, because we need to have, for a robust connectivity to be robust, it should be fiber connectivity. And that, I think, is very, very important, and the government is taking all the steps. But till then, I think we have sufficient connectivity for launching many digital initiatives like we have done. So that's one part. The most important part is also data rates. So the connectivity today is a 4G connectivity in the whole country. Every mobile, every telecommunication provider, telco has moved on to a 4G platform. So I think it's data first kind of connectivity, which is very good. Today, people are making video calls, people are watching films, and because the data rates are cheap, people are actually enjoying data. Our data consumption rate is the highest in the world. Mobile data consumption rate, which is 12
Right.
GB per person per month. So it's actually I think that figure is right. I'm not very sure, but I think it's about 10 or 12 GB per person per month, which is actually a very significant sort of consumption. So in a way, we have solved the connectivity issue. We need to make it a little more robust now by somehow ensuring that we have fiber connectivity in this country, and that I think will ensure that we have a very, very robust digital infrastructure. And many of the programs, envisaged by Digital India program of our Honorable Prime Minister, which I think will materialize and have already materialized. UPI, Aadhaar, CoWin, many other platforms are there which have really transformed the way we interface and interact.
Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for sharing your views on CoWin platform, on the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, and importance of security for data, and how the ecosystem will be ensuring that. Also, your views on connectivity as to why the connectivity is very integral to success of any digital project. Dr. Sharma, thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ujaley, for having me on. Thank you.